Jared, I do want to talk some WNBA with you real quick because we got some big breaking news about Caitlin Clark is going to miss a minimum of 2 weeks, which obviously shake things up a little bit for the WNBA MVP odds. Now, on BetMGM right now, I am looking, and there's currently nothing for MVP. As of now, we only have Rookie of the Year odds that are up. But just like when this tends to happen, right, with a superstar caliber player that misses a majority of time. We've seen this recently a lot in the NBA, right? Especially with the new rules, and you have to play a certain amount of games. For people out there, like when those markets do become available, do you like buying in now on Caitlin Clark when it's kind of a gray area and we don't know how much time she's going to miss? Do you want to wait and see until we get a diagnosis, like when she actually comes back? Is it all about the price for you? How do you normally go about betting these kinds of things when we know she's going to miss a certain period of time, but we don't really know how much time it could be?
Very hard to gauge. The first thing that came to mind, frankly, was how the TV ratings were going to hold up without her. I know they have a big primetime game on CBS coming up against the Chicago Sky in a couple weeks, and she's probably going to miss that game. Obviously, the big Angel Reese rivalry now is becoming a big thing. So it'll be interesting to see the ratings from the game last week between those two, or 2 weeks ago, whenever they played. And, Clark had like the controversial foul that everybody was up in arms about. And then what the ratings will be, going forward without her. I think we know what the answer is going to be, but my question is, how big of a dip do the ratings take with her out of the lineup? In terms of the betting for the futures, I think you just got to wait. Because now, granted, maybe someone has a piece of inside information that I don't, but what the Fever are reporting is minimum of 2 weeks. When I hear that word minimum, it really scares me into trying to predict when she's going to come back. I would much rather wait until I know she's going to come back, watch a game, see how she looks. And if the odds move a little bit based off of it, well, I'm paying for the information. Right now, you're guessing. You're guessing on injuries, which is the hardest thing to guess about. And you're guessing on an injury on a player who hasn't, to my knowledge, now I haven't been paying attention to her early parts of her career, but since she's turned pro, she's never had an injury. And I'm pretty sure that last year at Iowa, she played in every game. So she's had a gauntlet of time where she's been healthy. Maybe this is one of those spots where the medical people say, hey, listen, like this is probably a stress injury that is accumulated over time. And now it's a little bit more severe than maybe what the average strain would be. And you're going to take a week off more than what you normally would. Again, I don't know that this is happening. These are just conversations that I know other trainers would have with players, because I've been in the room when certain college players are having these types of conversations. And it's all about the severity of the strain and just how difficult it is to come back. So I wouldn't bet a darn thing right now based off of Caitlin Clark. You want to bet on the other side. Nafisa Collier right now is a favorite. You want to predict that maybe that number is going to get heavier over the next month that Clark is out, and then you can come back on Clark later at a better price. I think that's a fair strategy. But trying to catch the falling knife with Clark right now, I think you're just, there's better bets to make probably with your bank.
Totally agree with you. Yeah, especially when it comes to MVP. I mean, I wouldn't do anything with Caitlin Clark. I wouldn't even bet anything in the outright market. The odds really haven't moved even that much. I think it was plus 325 I saw last week, and now it's plus 375 with the Clark news. So the Liberty are the favorite, then the Lynx at plus 300, then you have the Fever and the Aces. So, it's interesting, right, Jared? Another recent example of this was kind of when we had Cooper Flagg go down in the ACC tournament against Duke, right? Certainly way different, where there's not as much time to come back and the postseason was starting a week later, but it's that idea of an injury happens. We don't really know the extent of it. We don't know how serious it is. Duke's prices dropped like crazy, right? I think at one point they were down to like 8-1, 10-1, something like that before kind of moving back up. Now, we haven't seen that kind of market in the championship. In the MVP, obviously, it has been affected at plus 250, but I'm with you. Like when it comes to bets like this, you want to be sure on certain things. If you want to take a stat, like I don't even think the value is even that good, right? To even take a chance. To take a chance with Clark, I would need a way better price. Cause like you're saying, they're making it sound like a minimum of 2 weeks. To me, that more so sounds like a month, Jared, maybe even like 5-6 weeks, right? Like they're trying to be optimistic. But also, I mean, Caitlin Clark is obviously the future of your franchise. So you don't want to rush her back. You don't want her to re-aggravate it again. And it's early enough in the season where the Fever have a good enough team where they can still continue to win games and survive and try and make it to the postseason with Caitlin and just take their chances there. So I don't think there's any bets to be made. What I do think is going to be interesting, Jared, is these markets game to game without Caitlin Clark, right?
Yeah.
Like what's that going to look like? We talk about it all the time on this show. Femi loves calling it the fallen hero spot, right? Betting, especially that first game without Clark, looking at kind of those that way to bet it, but maybe the first couple games. I think that's the way to go about it. There's no lines up yet for the Fever game. They don't play tomorrow, so they have a game upcoming the next couple days. But their next game, that's the bet I would make, is on Indiana plus the points, because people are going to freak out. They're going to be looking to fade the Fever without Caitlin Clark, and I think there could be some value there.
Absolutely. And another part of it, think about the defenses trying to prepare for the Fever now.
Yeah,
it's been an easy scout going into those games. Hey, we need to guard Cece. Like she's going to shoot it from, she's basically open from when she walks into the gym. Well, now what do you take away? Right? So there's that level of mystery where everybody knew what the Fever's offense was going to look like with Caitlin Clark. Now there might be a game or two where we just don't know. And you would say that is an advantage for the Fever. Now they have to execute. But I think that's where the fallen hero angle is really born. It's not necessarily that everybody just magically plays better. It's that you're used to a star player getting a high volume of a team's offensive output, and then all of a sudden you remove that star player from the board. Well, the shots still have to come from somewhere. Who's going to take them? Well, we don't know, because again, you have this shroud of mystery around, what the lineup, what the rotation will look like without the star player in the lineup. The fallen hero angle is a fantastic angle, but if you go a layer beneath to try to tell someone why those bets sometimes have value, it's because teams just don't know how to prepare. I would lean, if I had to bet, over under 2 weeks, or let's say 2.5 weeks for Caitlin Clark's injury. Yeah, I'm betting the over, and I'm hammering that over. Because another thing you have to keep in mind too, male, female bodies are just different. I think, and I'm not trying to make this about physiological, psychological, things, but my guess is it would take a little bit longer for a female body to heal from any injury than a male body.
All good points. So Caitlin Clark going to be sidelined for at least 2 weeks for the Indiana Fever. She's now plus 250 to win league MVP.